The world has ended, multiple times, or at least it nearly did. Not in a movie, not in fiction, but in real life. And you were never told. This is the true story of the moments when humanity hovered on the edge of nuclear destruction, due to errors, ego, and pure chance. Tonight on Alpha Views, we uncover the 3 most terrifying nuclear near misses in history. Mistakes that could have wiped us all out. Picture this: the Cold War at its peak, a time of suspicion, fear, and enough nuclear weapons to obliterate the planet many times over. Deep within a secret bunker, a man named Stanislav Petrov stares at a screen. It's his job to watch for incoming American missiles, to be the first line of defense against a nuclear attack. Suddenly, the unthinkable happens. The computer screams its warning. 5 American nuclear missiles, launched from a base in Montana, are heading towards Soviet territory. Petrov's blood runs cold. He has minutes, perhaps seconds, to react. This is it, he thinks. This is how it ends. Protocol dictates that Petrov must report this attack immediately. One phone call is all it takes to unleash the Soviet nuclear arsenal, to trigger a full-blown retaliation that will engulf the world in fire and ash. Petrov reaches for the phone, his hand trembling. But something doesn't feel right. Petrov, a man trained to trust his gut as much as his instruments, hesitates. He looks back at the screen, at the impossible trajectory of the supposed missiles, the limited number. Could this be a glitch? A terrible, terrifying malfunction? He makes a choice that goes against his training, against every fiber of his being. He chooses to do nothing. He labels the alert a false alarm, a computer error. He trusts his instinct over the cold, hard data staring back at him. The world held its breath that day, unaware of how close it had come to annihilation. Petrov's story remained a secret for years, buried in the classified files of the Cold War. When it finally came to light, he was hailed as a hero, the man who single-handedly prevented a nuclear holocaust. But Petrov saw himself as anything but a hero. He was just a man who did his job, who made an impossible decision in the face of unimaginable pressure. He was a testament to the power of human judgment, a stark reminder that sometimes the fate of the world rests on the shoulders of one ordinary individual. 1. The world teeters on the precipice of nuclear war. The Cuban Missile Crisis, a standoff between the United States and the Soviet Union, has brought us to the brink. Unknown to most, deep beneath the surface of the ocean, another drama unfolds, one that could have sealed the fate of humanity. The Soviet submarine B-59, armed with a nuclear torpedo, finds itself hunted by American destroyers. Depth charges explode around them, shaking the sub violently. The crew is trapped, in the dark, running out of air, and under relentless attack. The captain of the B-59, believing World War III has already begun, wants to launch the nuclear torpedo. He sees it as their only defense, their final act of defiance against the American aggressors. But there's a problem. Protocol requires the consent of all 3 senior officers before the nuclear weapon can be launched. 2 of them agree: the captain, desperate and enraged, and the political officer, convinced of an all-out American assault. All eyes turn to the 3rd man in the room, Vasily Arkhipov. Arkhipov, a seasoned officer who had survived a nuclear accident the previous year, is the voice of reason. He argues against the launch, convinced that it's a mistake, a tragic overreaction that will lead to global annihilation. He pleads with his comrades, reminding them of the stakes, the sheer destructive power they hold in their hands. The air is thick with tension, the air even thicker with the threat of nuclear fire. But amidst the chaos, one man's courage shines through. Arkhipov, steadfast in his refusal, eventually convinces the captain to stand down. The order to launch is rescinded. The world breathes again, though it doesn't even know it. Vasily Arkhipov, the man who prevented a nuclear apocalypse, returned home a hero, though his heroism remained a secret, locked away in the annals of the Cold War. He received no medals, no parades, no recognition for his extraordinary act of courage. But his story serves as a stark reminder: Sometimes the bravest act is not to fight, but to resist, to stand firm against the tide of fear and aggression. Vasily Arkhipov, the unsung hero of the deep, reminds us that even in the darkest depths, hope and reason can prevail. Eliminating these weapons of mass destruction once and for all. The world didn't end in 1983 or 1962 or 1995, but it easily could have. Each time it was human restraint, not technology, that saved us. With AI, faster missiles, and rising global tensions, could the next mistake be our last? Remember the names Petrov, Arkhipov, Yeltsin? They didn't wear capes, but they saved the world. Subscribe to Alpha Views for more forgotten truths that shaped our world. Because history doesn't repeat,